Hi everyone. Uh, Today, this week, what's happened? Well, we've had lots of rain, so that's good. I think there's a little bit more forecast, so we need it over here. But today is going to be dry and cloudy, a bit cool this morning though. So I was thinking today we would work maybe a little bit more on forward bends than usual. I don't do a lot of forward bends in class. Not that I don't like them, but you have to be really careful with forward bends. I think forward bends put more pressure on the back than a lot of other poses. So if you have any lower back issues in particular, just take it easy. Just go into the forward bend gently. And always try and bring the hips a little bit forward. So we're trying to do that dog tilt, if you remember. The dog tilt is we're emphasizing the arch in the lower back as we fold forward. So we're trying, we don't want to round the back and fold forward like this. We want to pull those hips forward and then try and fold in the forward bends. If you have tight hamstrings, forward bends are a bit of a challenge. It's good to stretch out the hamstrings, and that's what we want to do rather than stretching out the back too much. But anyway, just take care. So to begin with, we'll do a couple of breathing styles. We'll do alternate nostril breathing, and then we'll do breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Both of them are sort of calming, reduces the stress. So sit nice and tall, neutral back, try and soften the shoulders but broaden across the collarbone. Shoulders are relaxed, chin is slightly tucked, head back, or ideally the chin is parallel to the ground. We're going to take the right hand, and typically we use the thumb and the ring finger, and the other two fingers in between can be pulled into the palm if you want, or you can extend them up. I like to pull them in if I remember. When we close the nose, we close it gently, try not to bend the nose. Close the right nostril. Inhale through the left side. Close left nostril, exhale right. Inhale right side. Close right, exhale left. Inhale through the left nostril. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. So just keep going at your pace. After the next exhale, bring both hands down. So what the breathing technique we're going to do next is we're going to inhale through the nose, maybe for a count of 4, 3 or 4, depending on how fast you count and how long the breath is. And we're going to exhale for 1 count longer. So if you inhale for 3, you want to exhale for 4. If you inhale for 4, you exhale for 5. I'm going to do a 4 and a 5. We're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Whenever you're ready, inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Add a slight pause at the top of the inhale. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Regular breathing. Again, that kind of breathing is calming. It's building the strength of the lungs. Probably very good to practice that with the virus around. Practice that every day. Get those lungs nice and strong. Okay, let's work on the stretching out the neck. Bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Stretching out the left side of the neck. Just letting the weight of the head stretch the neck out. Don't forget to breathe. Don't hold the breath. Talking about holding the breath, I don't tend to practice breath retention. I mean, we did a slight pause last one, but we don't hold it for long. If you ever find you're holding the breath unintentionally, you're probably working too hard. So just sort of make a note of that and try and take it a little bit easier on whatever you're doing. Inhale the head up, exhale to the other side. Maybe one side's a little bit tighter. Here I find the right side of my neck a little tighter and a little bit of more tightness in my right shoulder. So I tend, if I'm doing this by myself, I will hold this side a little bit longer just to try and get a little bit of balance. Inhale back up, exhale over to the right side again. Now this time we're going to keep the side stretched, but we're bringing the head forward. See what difference that makes. And then we take the head backward. We come back up to neutral, take the head to the other side, and we're bringing the head slightly forward. And then backward. Head to neutral. We turn the head looking over the right shoulder. Inhale back to center, exhale over to the other side. So we're just going to go from side to side with the breath. Inhale as you come to center, exhale to the side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Next time we're going to hold it. Inhale center, exhale to the side, hold the pose, don't hold the breath. You're getting taller and taller. You're gazing behind you. You're breathing. Inhale to center, exhale over to the other side. Inhale back to center, exhale chin to chest. Then we're just going to rotate. Rotating the head, slow. Imagine you're trying to draw circles in the air with the chin. Notice any creaks, any cracks, any tight spots. I think we all have those, but sometimes it's just good to be aware. We end up with the chin at the chest, and we rotate in the other direction. I'm doing about 3 rotations. And just bring all your attention to the neck. And again, we're going to end up with the chin at the chest. And we bring the head back up to neutral. Interlace the fingers. Extend the arms forward. Arms are straight. Retract the shoulders back. Get tall. Breathe. Start bringing the arms up towards the ceiling. We're trying to keep the arms straight. Eventually we're trying to frame the face with the arms. Just go as far as feels good. Keep the shoulders happy. But as I say, eventually arms are straight. Arms are either side of the head. We bring the arms down. We interlace the hands behind us. Interlace the other way. Feels a little bit weird. We pull the shoulders down, shoulder blades in. So the shoulders are down and in. We look up as we hinge forward. Go as far as you can and then start bringing the arms up and tuck the chin. Looking towards the belly button. We come up. We bring the hands back on the knees. We work on the shoulders a little bit. Both together, one at a time, rotating up and down, whatever feels good. Just try and loosen up there. Okay, on your hands and knees. Cat-cow a few times. Inhale, belly down, head up. Exhale as you round the back and tuck the chin. Inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. Just move at your pace with the breath. You're trying to synchronize the movement with the breath. Now, if the wrists are directly under the shoulders, you can go a little bit deeper. If the hands are a little slightly forward, you can't go quite as deep. So if you get the wrists directly underneath the shoulders, you can get more rounded in the back, and you can drop the belly a little bit more as you inhale. If it puts a little bit too much pressure on the wrists, by all means bring the hands forward. This should be good. The back should like this. The only time this has bothered my back is, when I sort of had a little bit of a spasm in my back a few years ago, and I couldn't go quite as deep in cat-cow because it would bother the back. We come into Sphinx. So you're lying on the mats. You've got the elbows underneath the shoulders, opening the chest. So in Sphinx, I'm trying to grab the mat with my hands, and I'm pulling, I'm opening the chest. You want to make sure you're not dropping between the shoulders, trying to get that opening. Let's just make fists with the hands, tuck the toes, come into a forearm plank. We're looking directly at the ground, we're breathing. We're trying to keep a nice straight line, planks are straight, they're not dipped, they don't have a crease in them. If you want more challenge, we bring the toes a little bit closer. We bring one leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk the knees underneath the hips. Keep the elbows under the shoulders, no wider. Palms together or forearms parallel. Dolphin. Tuck the toes, knees come up. Hips go back. Usually I keep the knees bent. Helps me to keep the backbone neutral. I'm pushing into the ground to keep the head off the ground. I'm pushing the mat away, trying to pull the shoulders away from the hands, shoulders towards the hips. Trying to get that straight line, elbows through the shoulders to the hips. We're trying to get an upside down V, top of the V, the feet and the elbows, bottom of the V are the sit bones. You're breathing. We bring the knees down and we come into child's pose. Toes together, knees apart, rest the head. So child's pose, extended child's pose. The arms are forward, look up. See if you can walk the hands forward. Creeping those hands. Hands are like little feet, little toes. Lift the hips, lift the belly up. And then bring the belly down. Walk the hands over to one side, stretching out the lower back. About 4 breaths. Walk over to the other side, 4 breaths. Back to center. Let's work on the hands and the wrists. So we're going to take the knees apart, toes touching. We bring the hands between the legs, fingers pointing towards the toes, fingers spread apart, not too much with the thumb and the index finger, but we have got space between each finger. And we're just going to rock a little bit backwards and forwards. Some of you might not feel this. If this doesn't feel much of a stretch, you can walk the hands a little bit further forward and then bring the sit bones down. If it's too much of a stretch, you lift the sit bones up higher off the heels. I feel the stretch in the wrists and the forearms, the inside of the forearms. Keep the fingers on the mat. Lift the heel of the hands up, stretch the fingers out. Feels like you're getting those hands alive. You can feel that energy flowing through the fingers. And we release. Let's work on the toes a little bit. So what we're going to do, let me do it this way, is we're tucking the toes, we're sitting on the heels, and we're just going to bring the hands either side of the knees, and we're just going to rock backwards and forwards a little bit. And this is going to stretch the toes out a little bit. It's going to stretch out the back of the heels, the Achilles tendons, especially as you bring the heels closer to the ground, which we're going to do next. And I'm walking my hands forward again. And I'm slowly bringing the heels all the way down. This might be a challenge for some of you. If it's a challenge, one thing you could do, you could take the feet wider apart, pointing out. You could roll up a mat, put it underneath the heels. So I feel a stretch a little bit in the back of the heels, but also in my back, a little bit of a stretch in my lower back, but it's a good stretch. It's not hurting, just a gentle stretch there. And then, I think we might, I'm not sure if we tried this last week. Let's try this. So I'm going to extend the arms forward as much as I can. So we're bringing that weight, and then I'm going to let the sit bones come to the ground like this. And then inhale, exhale, you come back onto the feet. I've done this. 2 weeks ago I could do this, and it's not happening. Oh well. Onto your hands and knees. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Bring the feet nice and close to each other. Pedal the dog. Walk the dog. So we're bending one knee as we straighten the other leg. Just take your time. It's a walk. We're walking the dog. We're not running. Bring one leg up to the ceiling. I'm bringing my leg up. Extended down dog. Hip opener. We stack the hips. We're bending that top knee. We extend the leg, top foot comes down, other leg comes up. Extended down dog other side. We stack the hips, bending the knee. Top foot joins the bottom foot. We look forward, we walk forward between the hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Forward bend. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, mountain. Half salute. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale as you fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again, head relaxed. Inhale, breath, core brings us up, reaching up. Exhale, mountain. Each time you bring the arms up, you're trying to reach towards the ceiling. Exhale, we fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again, relaxing the head. Inhale, breath, core brings us up. Exhale, mountain. Don't forget, bend the knees if you need to keep the back happy. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, mountain. Sun salutation A. We come to the front of the mat. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We're in plank. We keep the elbows in as the knees come down. Chin, chest forward and then down. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take about 3 breaths. We jump or walk forward, inhaling as we come halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, arms up, reach up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands, plank. Chaturanga, on knees, chin, chest to ground. Inhaling into cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. 3 or 4 breaths. Chin is tucked, you're looking between the legs. Arms are active. Pushing the hands into the ground, armpits towards the ground. Getting that upside down V. Top of the V, the hands and the feet. Bottom of the V, the sit bones. We look forward, jump or walk forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, mountain. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plank. Chaturanga. Inhale into up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 or 4 breaths. We look forward, jump or walk forward between the hands. Inhaling, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, mountain. So we're going to fold forward, going to hold the forward bend. So we're hinging at the hips. Fingertips to the ground. Take the feet a little bit wider, so there's 2 or 3 inches between the feet, but the feet are parallel. Take hold of the big toes. So my 2 fingers, index finger, middle finger and thumb around the big toes. Bend the knees, rest the belly on the legs. Head is totally relaxed. You've got contact between the belly and the legs. Find a stretch at the back of the legs, and if you want to go deeper, you straighten the legs a little bit more, but you're trying to keep that contact between the belly and the legs. That's important. That keeps the back safe. Try this if you want. I'm lifting my toes up, so I'm pivoting on my heel. I slide my left hand underneath the left foot. So my toes are right inside my left wrist. Same with the other foot. Lifting the toes up. My right toes are inside my right wrist. I'm lifting up, I'm bending my knees more, looking up, and then I fold forward. You can get a little bit more leverage this way. You can go a little bit deeper if you want. Head is totally relaxed. I'm using a lot of arm strength to pull down. Breathe. We release the hands and we come all the way up. And we bring the arms either side of us. Front of the mat. Inhale, chair. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We're in plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep this foot through. We're coming into warrior 1. And we hold warrior 1. We exhale into warrior 2. So I'm going to go a little deeper. I'm getting the feet a little bit wider. I'm looking over that right arm, lines of energy through the arms. Let's transition into Trikonasana. So we're going to straighten that front leg. Both legs are straight. You reach forward. You bring the right hand down. Wherever it lands, that's the spot. You bring the other arm up. Straight line. Top hand all the way through the shoulders to that bottom hand. Do not drop the head. Try and keep the top ribs even with the bottom ribs. So we're trying not to arch the ribs up like this. We're trying to keep those ribs even. You can bring the top hip slightly forward if you want. Maybe look up towards that top hand. We come back into Warrior Two. Reverse Warrior. And then we're going to flow to the other side. Plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into Up Dog. Exhale, Downward Facing Dog. Inhale the left leg up, extended down dog. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We're in Warrior One. Stay in Warrior One. I switch, you don't. Exhale into Warrior Two. Warriors, we're keeping the knee over the ankle, never forward of the ankle. We're keeping the knee nicely lined up with the center of the foot. We're keeping the torso vertical. Reverse Warrior. And then we come back into Warrior Two, Trikonasana. We straighten the front leg. You can walk that back foot in slightly if you want. We reach forward, we're hinging at the hips. Reach as much as you can, and then bring that hand down. Wherever it lands, that's the spot. Straight lines, think straight lines. Breathe. Both legs are active. Insteps lifted. That gives you an external rotation of the upper legs. You breathe. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Back into Warrior Two. Reverse Warrior. And then we come back into plank. Let's hold plank. Again, if this bothers the wrist, just like before, again you could do the forearm plank. If this is okay, hang out here. I'm trying to get my heels directly over my toes, shoulders are over the wrists. Side plank, left hand to center. Stack the feet. Right arm comes up. Don't drop the head. Bottom knee can be down, top foot can be down in front of you. If you want more challenge, you bring the top leg up. You breathe in. We come back into plank. Side plank, other side. Right hand to center. Stack the feet. Extend the arms. Maybe bring the top leg up. And then we come down into plank, chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog, and let's just do child's pose. 3 or 4 breaths. And then we slowly come up. Although we're going to focus on forward bends, back, we need to combine a little bit of back bend as well. So, which we do with the cobra, an upward facing dog, but we're going to do another one. We bring the hands behind. Fingers are in line with the toes. The fingers are pointing to the front of the mat. So we tuck the chin, we open the chest. We let the head go back carefully, if the neck is good. And if you want, you can bring the hips up and you can breathe. This is going to open the upper chest, the arms are working, it's opening the throat. You can engage the glutes, strengthen the glutes. We come down, we come up, tucking the chin, back into child's pose. And then slowly come up, back onto the hands and knees, downward facing dog, walk forward, inhaling halfway up, exhale as you fold forward, inhale coming all the way up, exhale, mountain. Okay, let's try this. So we're in a standing position, and we're going to balance on the left foot, and we bring the right knee. Well, I'm holding just below that right knee. Now some of you, if you're a little bit more flexible, what you could do is hold onto the big toe and extend that leg forward. If that's too much, just hold onto the shin just below the knee. If you're holding onto the big toe, the next thing would be to take the leg over to the side like this. If you're holding onto the knee, you just take the leg over like this. Whichever you prefer. Whichever your body prefers. Listen to your body. It's not what your mind prefers. If you're struggling with the leg straight, do what your body says. Take the easy path. We bring the leg back to center, and we bring that leg down. It gives you a bit of a hamstring stretch. Other side, holding on just below the knee, or you're holding onto the big toe. We extend the leg if you're holding onto the toe. And maybe with the leg straight, you take the leg over to the side. Take the easy option if you want. We're not competing. We bring the leg back and we bring the leg down. We shake everything out. Extend the arms out to the side, shoulders soft. Bring the right arm under the left arm. Back of the hands or the palms parallel. We come into chair. We bring the right leg on top. We squeeze the legs together. Eagle, Garudasana. Maybe hook the foot. Some of you may have both feet down to the ground and just doing the arms. That's just fine. Not all of us are hooking the foot. Find the position you want, center the arms, maybe lift the arms up and breathe. And release. Lots going on there. Arm stretch, hip stretch, a balance challenge. Arms out to the side. Left arm under right arm. Hands parallel, back of the hands or the palms. Into chair. This is a good stopping point for some of you. Next, if you want, left leg on top of the right leg. You're squeezing the legs, maybe hooking the foot. I need to practice this side more. I can't go quite as easily onto the hooked foot on this one. Maybe bring the arms up and release, shaking everything out. Move those shoulders again. Okay, forward bends. Come to the front of the mat. Inhale as you bring the arms up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We're in plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look forward, jump or walk forward. But you're in a squat. And we just come into a seated position. Dandasana. Kneecaps, toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Now if you do have a strap, you could do this with a strap, putting the strap around the balls of the feet, and you're bringing those hips forward. Makes it a little bit easier. If you're flexible enough, you don't need the strap, you can hold on to the big toes. If this is a challenge and you don't have the strap, we're just going to do an easy forward bend. You might have to keep the knees bent just to keep the back nice and happy. But eventually the legs are going to be straight. I like to hold on to the big toes. I'll rock from side to side a few times. I then come up a little higher. I bring my hips forward. I'm trying to get that dog tilt. I'm looking up, and then I'll gently fold forward. And as I fold forward, I start tucking my chin. Breathe. I have contact between the belly and the legs. We did this while we were standing. And remember, if you've got contact between the belly and the legs, it keeps the back happy. If you want to go deeper, one of two of you might be able to go deeper. Again, I'm rocking from side to side a little bit. I come up, I pull my hips forward. This time I'm holding onto the outside of the feet, and I hinge forward a little bit more, bringing my head closer and closer to the legs. I'm interlacing the fingers so I can get a little bit more leverage, a little bit more traction, and I'm bringing my head down. And then we slowly come up. So there's all different levels. Some of you might be like this, which is just fine. We're just finding a gentle stretch. We go gently. Eventually you'll be able to go deeper, but it takes a while. Bring the hands behind you. Fingers are pointing towards the feet. Open the chest. Lift the hips up, reverse plank. Head goes back carefully. And we try and bring the toes down towards the mat. We bring the sit bones down. We walk the feet in. Come into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath or two. Jump forward, come back into a seated position. Now this time, we're going to bring the right foot inside that left leg. Just like this. So we're getting a little bit of a hip opener. So my left leg is still straight. Inhale as you bring the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Again, if you have a strap, you can put the strap around the foot and you can start coming forward. You're bending that left knee as you need to. Maybe you can take hold of the foot, you come up and then you fold forward. If you can fold all the way forward, maybe you can take hold of the outside of that left wrist with your right hand. And we totally come all the way down. You're keeping the back safe. Remember, number one thing is to keep that back safe. Do not fold forward. If you feel any discomfort in the lower back, please take care of the lower back. What you could do next, be careful with this one, is you bring the left arm inside that left leg. You're pushing into the leg, so I'm trying to get my torso facing the side of the room, and I'm actually trying to grab hold of the outside of my left foot with my left hand to get a little bit of leverage. You don't have to do that. I bring my right arm up and over the head. Now what happens a lot, as you come down, the body tends to come towards the ground. We're trying to keep that opening. We're trying to keep open up towards the side of the room as we bring that top hand down to that extended foot. Slowly come back up. And come back up. Be careful with that one. We're doing a forward bend and we're adding a little bit of a twist So just take it easy. Just take it slow. Just let the body get used to it. Don't rush into these poses. Switch. We extend the other leg forward. So my right leg is extended forward, left foot is inside that leg. Getting a little bit of a hip opener. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale as you fold forward. Use a strap if you need to. Bend the knee if you need to. And if you're super flexible, you can hold on to the outside of the foot. Maybe you can even hold on to that right wrist with the left hand. And then we slowly come down and breathe. Then we come back up. So for me, I feel in the stretch in the left hand side of my back. It's a good stretch. You should be able to tell what's a good stretch and what's hurting. Bring that right arm inside that right leg. A little bit of leverage so that we can open the torso to the side of the room. We bring the left arm up and we start bringing it over the head. Go as far as feels good. We come back up. We pull both feet together. So the legs are crossed. We pull the feet in. We come into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep the back rounded. Bringing the shoulders forward. Elbows in. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time. Rounding the back, tucking the chin, shoulders over the wrists. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, down dog. Child's pose. 2 or 3 breaths. And slowly come back up. If those forward bends were a struggle for you, because your hamstrings are tight, a good way to stretch the hamstrings out, and most of you should know this, is to come onto your back. Your back is totally supported, totally protected. You can use a strap. You can put a strap around the foot and you could stretch the back of the leg out like this, or like this, holding onto the toe, or like this, holding onto the heel. You could have the leg against a wall. So if you're at like a door frame, so the lower leg could be inside the door frame, and this leg could be on the wall of the frame, and you could do that. You might feel the stretch on that one, and then of course we do the other leg with the strap, or holding onto the foot, or we use the door frame. Trying to loosen up there. Another way to stretch out the hamstring is you take a chair . I actually do this quite a lot. I'll bring my foot onto the chair and I just come forward like this, and this is a good one. You're keeping the kneecap and the toes up towards the ceiling, and then you can fold forward as much as feels good for you. Maybe coming all the way down eventually. But that's a nice one. If you're doing that, maybe a minute each side. So stretches I do most days: hamstring stretches, quad stretches just by holding onto the foot or coming into a lunge, calf stretches, pushing against the wall like this. So I like to stretch out the legs. Okay, little bit of a back bending, and we're going to come into bridge. So come onto your back, walk the feet in nice and close, feet are parallel, and on an inhale we push the lower back into the ground and bring those hips up. We're keeping the gaze towards the ceiling, legs are parallel. We interlace the hands, we walk the arms and shoulders nice and close. Maybe take 2 or 3 times, walking those arms in. You're pushing the hands, you're pushing the back of the head into the mat. Remember, gaze is up, do not gaze to the side, back to the neck. Legs are working. I'm gluing my feet to the mat, I'm pulling the feet in. I'm keeping the legs parallel, don't splay the legs out, work the glutes and breathe. We slowly come down, releasing the arms, bringing down the upper back, mid back, lower back. Pull the knees in, rock from side to side. Happy baby, we take hold of the feet. We're trying to keep the tailbone as low as we can. Head is supported on the ground. A lot of arm strength on this one. See if you can take the feet wider. Holding onto the feet, or you can hold onto the big toes. Trying to get the legs into a V shape. Tailbone down, I'm trying to get a little bit of gap underneath the low back. It's not going to happen, but that's what I'm trying to do. I'm pulling the shoulders away from the ears. And then hold on to the back of the legs, rock yourself up. Take the legs wide apart. As wide as you can. Maybe you've got a little bit of a chubby cheeks here, so just bring the chubbiness back, get a little bit more space. So this is wide-legged forward bend. This is a really challenging one. And you probably heard me say that when I first came to California, lived in Cupertino, we went to the local YMCA, and the teacher there, she would do stretches at the end of the class, and she'd always do this stretch. I was probably the least flexible at that time. I could barely fold forward at all. This is a difficult one. It's stretching out the inside of the legs. You need open hips for it. Be careful with the back. But eventually, you're going to start folding forward like this, and you can come all the way down eventually. But just take your time. This is a challenging pose, I think, for most people. What you could do, I'm trying to get my legs a little bit wider. I'm holding onto the feet. It's a little bit of leverage that allows me to bring those hips forward, trying to get a little bit more of a dog tilt before I come down. And what you could do is, if you can get further down, you could make fists with the hands. You could have a block, rest the forehead on the block as you come down. But probably some of you are way up like this. Some of you have got the knees bent, which is fine. Just as I say, just do what your body tells you to do. And come out of it slowly. I'm going to help my legs out with my hands. Into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We just do that little flow just to take the kinks out, and then let's go into a seated twist. Bringing the right foot in, Left leg is outside or inside that right leg. You can have the bottom leg straight if you prefer, if it's better for the knee. We hug the knee, or we have the arm outside as a leverage. Inhale, getting taller. Exhale into that twist. Use the breath. Keep inhaling to get length. Exhale as you go a little deeper. Inhale. As you come out of the twist, we switch legs. Left leg can be straight if you prefer. Right foot inside or outside the leg. If it's outside, you can get a little bit deeper twist. We're hugging the knee, or we're bringing the arm outside. To get the arm outside, I start rounding the back, get the arm a little bit lower, and then I'll start to straighten and get length, and then into that twist. Inhale, we unwind. Come onto your back again. Pull the knees in, rocking from side to side. Recline pigeon, figure 4. Left outer left ankle on the right leg, pull the legs in. Left foot flex, dorsiflexion. Rock from side to side. Switch legs. This gives us a little bit of a hip stretch. Using a lot of arm strength, flexing that right foot, keeping the head supported, trying to keep the tailbone nice and low, and just rock. Full body stretch. Extend the legs. Extend the arms over the head. Bit of a side stretch, getting into that banana shape. And we stretch out the other side. We even up. Realigning the back, butterfly pose, Untitled soles of the feet together. Keep length in the back of the neck. Arms can be either side of you, they can be resting on the belly or resting on the legs. If this bothers the hip, come out of the pose. If the hands are on the legs, it's not like you're putting a lot of pressure, it's just very gentle encouragement. You're trying to let that tension in the hips just melt away, letting the legs get closer to the ground. If you want to hold it longer, that's fine. If you're ready for Shavasana, extend the legs, bring the arms either side of you, palms up, and just take a few breaths, a few deep breaths. Inhaling through the nose, and let's exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Regular breathing. Just letting the whole body totally relax. Feel yourself sinking into the ground, becoming one with the earth. Bring attention to the hands. Stretch the hands out. And then clench. Stretch. And clench. Stretch. And clench. Relax the hands. Focus on the feet. Spread the toes. And then relax. Spread the toes. And relax. One more time. Spread the toes. And relax. Walk the feet in. Roll over to one side, typically the right side. Take a breath or two. And then gently come into a seated position, trying to keep the eyes nicely shut. Take the arms either side. Inhale as you sweep the arms up. Palms together. Exhale as the arms come down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the palms together, palms to chest. We'll take 3 ohms. Inhale. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and I'll see you next week.